We are live. Andrew, how are you?
A bit frustrated, Jim, with technology.
Technology, right? So it's your first time using StreamYard. So let's see how this goes, my friend. We are back, and I'm getting alerts telling me that we're back, Andrew. So fantastic, mate. And
Yeah,
12 days of lockdown 5.0 we've experienced. And the great Premier Dan Andrews announced this morning that as of 11:59 tonight, we're back, and albeit with some strong restrictions. But I've got to say, from a real estate point of view, I think we're just pleased that we can start working again and get back to transacting and helping clients. Yeah.
Yeah, look, Jim. Look, it was good to see that. Obviously, this announcement was made this morning, saying that we're back in action. Again, as you said, there's a couple of things we have to obviously follow with the guidelines and so forth, which we'll touch on for our clients in a moment. But from our point of view, from listing agents, we can see the buyers were getting frustrated, and so were our vendors. We just wanted to get back in action. Our buyers want to buy, our sellers want to sell, and good news is that inquiry was super strong once again. So we learned from last time. If inquiry is strong, then now we're back in action. It's going to be great signs for our sellers.
Yeah, look, I mean, we touched on it this morning in a Zoom meeting that we had with our team, Andrew, and everybody reported that they've been really busy fielding inquiries particularly over the last few days, given that we're 12 days in. And if we sort of reflect back that it was the 15th of July, Thursday night, where lockdown 5 was announced at 4:45 p.m. on the Thursday. And if we think back to how we pivoted very quickly and brought a few auctions forward and did them that night, and then we did some more on the Saturday, and then all of last week was really about engaging with clients and saying to them, we can't really do much for you at the moment other than remote appraisals, but we couldn't show anybody a home. So It's really pleasing that from tomorrow morning, we're back. And I've got to say that people can refer to our office website. It's already been updated with the properties that we've scheduled that will be that people will be able to inspect. Now, Andrew, do you want to touch on what the rules are? We are advertising time blocks, but what has to happen?
Yeah, so Jim, good question. And obviously a couple of our clients had the same question prior to this meeting. We basically can only have clients come through our property. So anyone that's looking to purchase a property, we have to have your details registered for that property prior to you attending that property itself. So, for example, if anyone is looking to purchase 24 Swindon Crescent in Kildown, we cannot have anyone come through that open for inspection unless you've registered prior to. So if you're interested in any of our properties, make sure you look at the advertising material, send us an email that you'd like to view that property, and we'll arrange a private inspection for you as well.
Yeah, so it's basically a private inspection that has to be booked, but we're going to be doing the inspections through certain time blocks. So where we used to advertise a property as an open house for example, 11 to 11:30 a.m., we're still going to be advertising 11 inspections available. So it'll show up as an open house, but it's not an open house.
Correct.
You have to register beforehand. You have to register an appointment. So it's a private appointment that we're doing between those nominated time blocks, correct?
Yep, 100% spot on. And look, this way, obviously, we're tracking, people that are coming through opens, and again, QR codes. That's a must. You obviously must follow the guidelines with the QR codes as well. And again, that's for everyone's safety as well. The last thing we want is for something to occur at one of our properties, and you haven't registered or again done the QR code, and we don't know who you are, right? So it's for everyone's safety as well.
Yeah, exactly. So what we expect is that what we do know now, under the guidelines that have been, or the restrictions that have been set for the next 2 weeks, is that we have to have masks on indoors and outdoors at inspections. We've got a a quotient of 1 person per 4 square metres. We can have up to 10 people in a home at the same time. So at an inspection, we can allow up to 10 people. Auctions can proceed on site with up to 100 people in attendance. So obviously spread out, obviously wearing masks. Now, let's just talk about this Saturday, Andrew. We had 4 or 5 auctions scheduled for this Saturday. We're not going to conduct them. They're going to be rescheduled to a later date. So some are going to be pushed into the 7th of August, the following week, and some are going to be pushed into the 14th and perhaps even the 21st. So in effect, this Saturday from our team, there are no auctions on site or online. What we will be doing is filling the day up, leaving our day totally free.
Correct. Yeah,
for private inspections with every buyer that wants to have a look at our listings, correct?
Well, exactly, Jim, because we know that obviously, again, we can only have 10 people at a time through obviously the property. So if we booked in 10 private inspections with any of the registered buyers, only 10 people at a time can be inside that house. Or one person per square meter rule, as we know. So we know there might be, in fairness, some buyers that might take a bit more time than others. So we're just going to be doing private inspections all day just to make sure that, anyone that has waited a couple of weeks to get through these properties, we can make sure that we can service those clients as well. So, yeah, really important from our point of view.
Yeah, and I think we just ask for everybody to have a little bit of patience, right?
Correct. Yeah.
This is new. It's not totally new to us, but it's new for some buyers that are in their buying journey, that are out looking. So just have a little bit of patience. We'll get you through. You'll be able to look at the property. We'll answer all your questions. And the reality of it is that at least we're not locked down any further. We can get out and start transacting because we've got clients that have sold their property that need to buy. We've got other people that have to buy a property for whatever reason, whether it's, they're getting married or whatever the case may be, or their pre-approval's running out. We can do it, Andrew.
Yeah, Jim, and it's happened to us a few times, and even though, again, we've learned from it, it's still not, a fun time to be in lockdown, right, for anyone in regards to what business they're in. So, thank God we're back and we can start servicing our clients. But as I mentioned before, inquiry once again has been fantastic, and everyone turns around and says, "Oh, how is the market going to react after another lockdown?" We can see, unfortunately, some businesses haven't reopened, but that hasn't affected the market. So I've said the same thing to all my clients because, again, a lot of people turn around and say, "Oh, well, we're going to hold back. We're going to hold back." Right? We hear that all the time, but I can tell you, regarding inquiry at the moment, it's super strong.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the other thing I think, Andrew, that we need to point out is that it's really about us supporting local. And when I say supporting local, I'm talking particularly about hospitality. I'm talking about cafes, restaurants, the local pizza shop, the local Thai place, the local Chinese place. Hospitality particularly has been doing it really, really tough, particularly when a snap lockdown gets called and it's just before a weekend and they've ordered all their produce for the weekend and it all gets spoiled and they can't keep it and they try to give it away or, whatever the case may be. So, just a shout out to everyone that if you can, try to support all the small local businesses, the local cafes that employ all the young kids. I mean, it's fantastic to see that schools are back. The kids will be able to get some normality. I really feel for kids, Andrew. A kid at school. I mean, I was talking to a friend yesterday whose daughter is doing year 11. And, these poor kids have been locked down 3 times this year. And year 11, year 12, 2 of the best years of your school life. And you can't interact with your buddies. You can't learn the way that everyone should have the opportunity to learn. Anyway, that's all history. We're out of it again. Let's hope that we don't have a lockdown 6 and a lockdown 7. Let's hope that lockdown 5 is enough for everybody to follow the protocols, and let's just ease out of this gently and safely. And obviously the message is for everybody to consider vaccination, up to them individually. But
Spot on,
but
Jim.
consider that. So maybe, Andrew, we talk a little bit about Saturday just gone.
Yeah,
obviously, when we got locked down, we still had momentum. People had seen the properties. We had no issue in recommending to our vendors to proceed with online auctions. Fast forward an extra week, and it takes us to the weekend of the 24th of Saturday just gone. We decided, and I think we touched on it late last week, Andrew, we decided that we'd postpone a couple of properties. We ended up selling 28 Bantry Avenue on the Friday. So tell us about that sale.
Yeah, Jim. We had obviously a buyer that obviously was keen. Like anything, we're always here to listen to any pre-auction offers. So again, as we say to all our clients, if you're a buyer, we are always going to consider any offers prior to auction. This family, Paul and his wife, been looking around for a very long time, and obviously, in lockdown, wanted to secure the property prior to auction. Gave us a generous offer of $800,000 prior to auction. Look, a couple of other buyers that were interested as well, but look, he was ready to react, and the buyers and the vendors, of course, were ready to transition as well. So we ended up putting a deal on that property there on Friday night, which is great, and very happy for the buyers, and again, very happy for our lovely vendor Wendy as well. So thanks to Wendy too.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a great result, selling that one on the Friday night. Then on the Saturday, we conducted one auction online, which was number 1 Goodwood Drive in Keilor Downs. And even though that property had missed out on, I suppose, 8 or 9 days of its the last week and a bit of its campaign, we were confident that there was an interest there from buyers. As it turned out, Andrew, we had 6 buyers registered a bid, 4 competed actively on the property. And as it happens, we didn't quite get to reserve. So we passed that property in at $805,000, and I can report that with some negotiations afterwards, it sold in excess of that. Now, the buyers, not the vendors, the buyers have actually asked us not to disclose the price. Now, we all know that once the property settles, the price is public knowledge and it gets disclosed to everybody. But in fairness and with respect to the buyers, we honoured their wish not to disclose the price, but I can confidently say that it was above the figure that it got passed in at. And for all intents and purposes, a very pleasing result. We were delighted with the outcome. The vendors were delighted with the outcome. And the buyer that bought it is a first-time buyer, a local, lives with his family in the area, and bought this beautifully renovated 4-bedroom home in Goodwood Drive as his first home. So congratulations to Mark for procuring that property, and well done to our vendors, Collie and Kochet Delev, very well known in the football circles, the 2 brothers that own that property. So well done to them. And sorry, go on. No, go on.
I was going to say, it's interesting to see a lot of the owner-occupiers in Keilor Downs and even Tattlers Lake starting to do some renovations in their properties, right? So it's quite cool to see. We're not used to that here, or, well, I suppose in the last 10 years, we weren't really used to seeing a lot of renovated homes. Traditionally, you're selling them as is, and a lot of the young buyers coming through, they're buying these older type of properties and sprucing them up. So it's really interesting to see, and Goodwood was a great example. And this weekend, we have 24 Swindon Crescent in Keilor Downs as well, which is also a beautifully renovated home too. So, quite cool.
So let's just talk about that property, Andrew, 24 Swindon Crescent. It's a beautifully, beautifully renovated home. It was scheduled to go to auction this Saturday. Now, given that that would have missed 2 weeks of its campaign. So, in fact, it was only on the market for 7 to 10 days. So what have we decided with that one? Have we made decisions when that's been rescheduled to?
Yeah, so we're going to auction that off on the 7th of August. I really believe, and I say, we all believe the same thing, right? The first week or first 2 weeks of the campaign is really where most of your buyers are going to come through, right? So, especially at the moment in lockdown, yes, no one has that able to see any of the properties, although they've been able to still contact us and obviously putting their inquiries through. So, pretty much what we believe is that all the inquiries that we've had come through so far, they'll all come through this week. So that means there's no point delaying the auction for buyers, not for the vendors, because we always do what's right for both parties, the vendors and obviously the buyers. The last thing we want to do is drag it on for another 2 weeks, and then as a buyer, you have to wait there for 2 or 3 weeks again to obviously wait for the auction. Whereas, everyone's inquiring the property. We have their details. We've told them the auction has been moved to the 7th of August. We have opens this week for the property, or private inspections booked in, shall I say, and we are ready to go for the auction the following Saturday.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. And Andrew, if I can just point out, I know we posted it on all of our socials, but I want to point out another absolutely incredible standout benchmark result that occurred that we are now able to make public. And that was a property that was sold, in fact, a few months ago, but we couldn't disclose it because the vendors requested that we don't disclose the result at that point in time. The property has now settled, and once it's settled, it becomes public knowledge and the price is available for anybody to see. So we're comfortable now in disclosing that transaction. It was a property at number 21 Drysdale Avenue in Taylor's Lakes, Andrew, a beautifully updated home on 1,517 square metres. So a third of an acre. Drysdale Avenue, for those that don't know, is in the McCubbin estate, opposite Water Gardens, just behind where Repco and the Fire Brigade is, basically. And this home had a bit of history. We sold it to the current vendors a few years ago. They then underwent an extensive renovation. They then listed the property with another agent out of area, and it was on the market for a long time. Look, it might have been 8 or 9 months with another agent. We were then able to get called in, and I should point out they listed it with another agent because they had a business relationship with them. We get called back into the property, we list the property, we actually secured a result, and it didn't proceed on finance. So then we took the property off the market, and a couple of months later we sold it off market. And the property was in fact sold in March, and it settled last week. So we're comfortable in saying that one sold, 21 Drysdale Avenue, $1,850,000, which is a standout result. So well done to all parties with that transaction as well, Andrew.
Well done to Lass for negotiating that deal too. So well done, mate. Good result.
He did a good job. And on top of that, just to summarise the results from the weekend, people that try to look at clearance rates and success rates, there are a number of portals that report results. REIV reports results, realestate.com.au report results, Australian Property Monitors report results, CoreLogic reports results, Domain reports results, and they all vary. And the reason is because they don't collate all the information in time, because some agents choose not to report a result if they've passed a property in. Beggars belief. I don't know why. It's a public auction. You've either sold it or you've passed it in. One or the other. Report the damn thing. Anyway, their choice. But I can tell you that for our group, the Barry Plant Group, on Saturday, online, working remotely, with no one in front of us, all the buyers at their house bidding on an online platform, 58 sold out of 61 auctions for 95% success rate. So again, it shows that the technology is available, people have adapted to it, buyers have accepted it, and we're producing some strong results. But there's nothing like being out on the field, Andrew.
No, nothing's going to beat being on show, Jim. And, look, I haven't conducted an online auction myself. You've been doing all of them. Purely and simply, it's hard. It's hard to be facing a mobile phone, conducting an auction and so forth, right? So to anyone that's an auctioneer doing an auction online, it's so much more difficult than doing them on site because not interacting face-to-face with buyers, right? You can't see their faces. You can't see their hands going up, naturally speaking. All you can see is numbers on your screen, and you can't even see that because someone is calling numbers out to you as well. So that even makes it more difficult, right? But nothing beats, an outdoor auction, having all the buyers there on site. But again, we've seen multiple times that even with on-site auctions, we still get buyers choose to elect to bid online as well. So the platform's there. We'll continue doing online and on-site auctions where we can do an on-site, of course. But yeah, the world of technology, it's fantastic. And definitely makes it a lot more convenient for a lot of buyers.
Yeah, we love it. All right, my friend, have you got anything else to bring up?
I think we're okay. I think, one last thing for buyers. I touched on this on my social media pages, and thanks for everyone for contacting me as well. Anyone that's looking to buy a property, more importantly, we've got some really, really nice properties hitting the market in our local area. So just register your details online, and you'll be the first ones to know about that property, of course. It doesn't mean we're going to sell it off market, of course, but at least you'll have the first rights to it, and you can get some information about it as well. So, feel free to send us a message, and we definitely look forward to helping you with your property search.
All right, mate, well done. We're back. We should point out that our team's all going to be available. They always have been, but they're certainly all available. Just reach out, phone, email, send us a smoke signal, throw something. We're there to help. Stay well, and we will see you soon.
See you guys. Speak to you soon.
Well done.
Bye-bye.